Dos, uno, adelante.
Muy buenas tardes. Quisiera
Good
darles
afternoon. I would like to welcome you, to give a special welcoming you for all special guests, members of the panel, and participants to the celebration that we call Benefits for Health and Nutrition, which is in the framework of the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. And I would like to start with the celebration, recognizing and thanking all the key actors that have been collaborating for the promotion of healthy diet through the consumption of fruits and vegetables. In first place, of course, we would like to recognize the role of family agriculture. And we want to give thanks to all of those who have crops, and they give us our table full of colors, textures, and flavors, and then as individuals and our society. Of course, this role with family farms, they are giving through the food chain to improve the safety, food and nutritional condition, to enhance resilience, especially today through the sustainable management of natural resources and the increase of agrodiversity. We would also like to thank the commitment and work of the members of the Parliament of America, Latin America and the Caribbean, and Latin America and the Caribbean parliaments, para Latin, from their region, national and international, together with the FAO, with the Mesoamerica and Spanish. They contribute to install the importance of a healthy diet based on fruits and vegetables. In this context, we sum up to congratulate for the Commission South Latino for food that back up the declaration of the United States on the International Year of 2021 for fruits and vegetables. At the same time, we want to say to each of the special members of the panel with us today in ABC, the Institute of Nutrition of American Panama, INCAM, Foundation from Chile, Foundation for Healthy Nutrition in Panama, and the Central American Nutrition. It feels good recognizing and thanking all of them and each of you, because this shows that to be able to promote fruits and vegetables for everybody, we require a collaboratory work. And this was strengthened that this celebration will contribute with a discussion presented by the United Nations. I would like to share some of the logistic aspects for these encounters which are relevant so things will flow in a dynamic way. First of all, you have to remember that this webinar is transmitted through YouTube channel FAO and Twitter platform at FAO Mesoamerica. For those who need translation, we comment that at this moment in the Twitter Mesoamerica account, we will give you the link so you can have the translation English to Spanish or Spanish into English. This virtual activity will last for 2 years, and we will have a variety of panelists with a broad experience in this topic of fruits and vegetables. And before starting with exchange of experience with the different members of the panel, we would like to invite you to have a activity. In the Twitter account, Mesoamerica, please go into this account because we would like to know something special about you in relation to fruits and vegetables. As you know, fruits and vegetables gives us colors, and those colors will give a paradise that will illuminate our site, and each of the colors will give us a special benefit. And we would like to know, and that you can share some food where you can add a great amount of colors in your food: yellow, purple, white, red, something that is full of colors. Please share the recipes and share your foods, and I'm sure that we will all love it and we will incorporate them into our diets. So we will wait to see if I have some answers, and then we will continue with it during the webinar. Now I would like
inicio al intercambio
begin with the exchange of experience. As I said before, we have excellent members of the panel, and I request, so if please be on time. I will give you, I will let you now when you have 2 minutes left for the end of your presentation. So I would like to give the floor to Mr. Adonina Sanchez. He's the coordinator of the sub-regional Food for Power for North America, and he is the representative of FAO. And now he will give us the opening words so we can start with our beautiful party. Welcome. Thank you. And good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody from Panama. Warm greetings and very respectful and warm greetings to all of those who are with us in this webinar. Dr. Laura Minel is from Paraguay in the National University of Asunción. Our colleagues from Chile, Luis Trujillo's, Foundation Brotes in healthy from Panama, and we have important partners here. To all my colleagues of FAO, Leonore Hernandez, Maliera, Danaya Velosa, from Brazil, Luisa. In these opening words, they wanted me to say something in 3 or 4 minutes, to comment something about the commitment of the United Nations, especially of FAO, about what this year will represent in FAO, in the United Nations. And this happened 2021, the importance of this year. First, I want to say that since 2010-11, FAO has had an active policy, not from dispute, but promotion. And they're talking about food and agriculture. In 2020, cooperation, 14, family agriculture, 16, 20, what happened with the COVID, and now 2021, fruits and vegetables. And this, we had the opportunity in the United Nations that they could approve something more strong for that will affect nutrition. Why do we think that these years are important? Because behind that importance about this food topic, that you could receive all the documents, not from FAO only, but from UNICEF, from many other institutions, especially OPS, that we're talking more about food and less about agriculture. Why? Because since 2010 or 13, the analysis is each time more complex and sophisticated, mainly because of some studies, especially hunger, that ODM, ODS now, that is a problem of access. It's not the problem of production. This war against production, it was the second war. So these are, there are some other types of things that we have to talk. The main thing that they presented was last year, the critical mass of last decade. It was what we have just seen in the summit of food system. And this is something, this would be, there were lots of conversation among countries. And many of the countries on the summit presented roads of how to present this malnutrition problem. And this is articulated with the topics I have mentioned, with poverty, hunger, but mainly with nutritional aspects. When I was mentioning that we are working with OPS, OMS, and we learned from them since 2015 or 16 with their documents, is that there is a pandemia that is installed in parallel. There are some studies that we are now talking about obesity and overweight, and to see how this system is working. That we work in agriculture, we're learning that there is a chain of values. And when you put in the consumer in the first place, in the across the Chile Foundation. Agriculture, after 70 years, we are creating a generation of obese or people with overweight. So from nutritional point of view, the topic of environment and inclusion. This environmental topic is also, as I say, the production, how they're productive, smells, flavors, and colors. So it is important, the topic of biodiversity that is present here. So because then we can learn that there is, we are 67% is based on products of what we should be eating. So we hope that we can help that. And if we stress the food in fruits and vegetables, that is why we're here and now to close this topic about fruits and vegetables. The other thing that we have been studying, what we have been learning is that diet, basic and healthy diets are much higher, much expensive, high costs, and that is important. This family farm that is with diversities, and the Andean culture that is important, and we have to increase the offer to avoid this concentration on private sectors. The other thing that it is important for fruits and vegetables is all waste. On 16, 17, we realized that in Latin America, and we waste half a kilogram that is wasted in restaurants, in production, and that is still, this is a topic that is still on table, and we have to see what do we do with those products. We're working strong, and we're really committed with members of the parliament. More than 500 deputies and senators, and they have a very important role, how to influence in the policies of state, and so they can change all the diagnoses that we know, and they could take care of public responsibility and face the problem that we are realizing. In the Panama Palatino, there is a group that is presenting to deputies and senators, and then the members of the colleagues of FAO, they approved the law of water framework, what is school nutrition, so then we can inspire the members of the parliament to talk about this topic. From FAO, we thank you for your participation, and I think that we are having, and we're making history now, those who are working for these food and social topics in the summit of food topics. Maybe we're having the agenda for the future years. They're giving in our agenda many meetings like these and many conversations like these for healthy food. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Diran. I would like to point out that we are in a historical moment. We have the summit of his food fruits, and with these fruits and vegetables, we should more than ever to act in a more systemic way, so fruit and vegetables have the multiple benefits from a health point of view, but they are transcendent to all the actors in this food chain, and to be able to generate actions and responsibility and to carry out the agenda of social development. Thank you so much for your opening words, and we hope to you can have an excellent afternoon. Now I would like to continue with a special guest. We have Daniela Godoy. Daniela, she's the main officer of Food and Nutritional office in the FAO, Latin America and the Caribbean. As we are talking about fruit and vegetables, we say, why is this relevant? We have to understand the context. Why do we have to make the difference? And she's going to say the state of nutritional state, and which are the frameworks in the framework of the year of fruits and vegetables 2021. You have the floor, Daniela. Thank you so much. Yes, we have a great challenge and a great opportunity. And now I will present you, I will give you the information and policies. I would like to read Mr. Domiran, Luisa, Mariela, Betty, Jenny, of course, and Jorge and all the group. Thank you so much for having the possibility of sharing the experience and to hear from you of what you're doing. So now I will share my presentation.
Ahí se ve, ¿cierto?
Can you see my presentation?
Bueno, el estado de la seguridad alimentaria y la nutrición.
Well, the state of nutrition and
Se te ve en la opción de presentador. No sé si puedes hacer como la presentación total.
Ah, un segundo.
Sí, gracias.
Compartir. ¿Ahí o no?
Ahí está, excelente. Adelante.
Perfecto. Súper. Bueno, voy a presentar acerca del estado de la
I will present about the state of food safety and nutrition. This was published in 2021 this year, and how this is within the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. It is very important to point out that according to the world states, 68 million people are underfed in the world. And this is a very big amount of people. And in the region of Latin America and the Caribbean is about 60 million people with hunger. Then you can see all the information and data in the lines that we can see in orange or black. You will see that there is a great difference between 2021, 19 and 20. So we could say that all the effects of the pandemic from the economical and social point of view in different countries have also affected food nutrition. So this is why we the undernourished indexes have increased. And this presents us a great challenge to accomplish the objectives of Sustainable Development number 2. Here you can see the prevalence of food in Latin America and the Caribbean, where we are in like 3%, and they start diminishing in 10, 17, 18, even 2019, increasing the amount of underfed people in 20, as this include the people with hunger too. This is very important because it means that we're going back in 15 years in the prevalence of underfed and more than 20 years in people affected by hunger. And now we have this new challenge. The other big challenge is the food insecurity, which is moderate and severe. We can see that 928 million people have these food insecurity. And this is also in high levels in Latin America and the Caribbean, reaching to 927 amount of people with. And here you can see the amount of people that have severe and moderate, and in comparison, the whole amount of people that you can see them in green. And just in the side, we have the Latin America and the Caribbean. The other important topic also that we have to point out is gender gap. And this is a challenge to be able to implement public policies in nutritional safety policies. We have a great gap in what we're talking, for example, in prevalence of obesity, but also in food insecurity. And this gap in Latin America and the Caribbean is up to a 30%. So there has been an increase in this food insecurity and a great prevalence. Other topics that are relevant here and that are related with consumption of fruits and vegetables are malnutrition on ALC. we have to take care of hunger so as to include in for sustainable development number 2. But there are other indicators together with malnutrition, growth, the overweight or obesity. 1 out of 4 adults in the region have obesity, and the overweight levels in the case of children less than 5 years old are 7.5%, with an average which is more than, which is a higher level than in the rest of the world. And undoubtedly, one other challenge is in micronutrients in Latin America and the Caribbean. We have to take care of these micronutrients. It was mentioned by Adoniran, the importance of healthy diet, because there is an important aspect of those people that have no access to these healthy diets that can give them food safetiness, and then they can have a less probabilities of being with overweight and obesity, and then this will affect them from the nutritional point of view. There are different types of diets. We know that there is diet in relation to nutrients and healthy diet. They have access at a global level, and in the region, 130 million people.
They cannot access. So another topic that is important is that Africa and Latin America cannot have an access. There was a reduction. So the physical access, the economic access, the social protection are important, are some of the important challenges that we have seen. Another relevant topic is to talk about the consumption and the access to fruits and vegetables in the region. In 2017, there was death that was related to lack of consumption of fruits and vegetables, because we know that the consumption of fruits and vegetables have enormous benefits for the human health and also for environmental health. In terms of human health, the WHO and the FOA recommend about 400 grams of fruits and vegetables, raw vegetables, minimally processed, but we are under this, considering the high cost that healthy foods have. And in there, we see a huge challenge. However, another very relevant topic that is also associated to fruits and vegetables is associated to the waste. Yesterday, it was the International Day of Awareness about food waste, and it is very interesting to highlight that at a global scale, we lose about 14% of the foods that are produced from the posterior part, from harvesting to distribution. In Latin America and the Caribbean, this value gets to an 11.6%, so that means 220 millions of tons of food per year. In the foods that we waste the most, we have the fruits and the vegetables. So in there, we find opportunities to reduce this waste of foods and to increase the access to people that are vulnerable and that do not have access. So in the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, and considering these enormous challenges, we have a great opportunity to advance towards the compliance of the SDGs. So fruits and vegetables are healthy, produce a lot of benefit to human health. They reduce neurotransmissible diseases, and also it prevents obesity. We can also have more security, food security, and families security as well. Most of the people in the region do not get to the objectives that are set for consumption. So in there we have a a big challenge in relation to the most vulnerable people and the more isolated places. So the way in which foods and vegetables are produced have an impact in human health and in the environment. So transforming the systems needs to increase this consumption of fruits and vegetables. And for that, it is very important to work from all of the different sectors and with all of the different players of the agricultural system. So there's an important sector in the public sector, but also there is an important role from the civil society and from all of the other sectors, as academia, for example. The investments along the chain, having more data, better study, more evidence, political evaluation for regulations and for the production, the value chain and the consumption, of course, is an advance so that we can increase the consumption of fruits and vegetables that have an impact that is very relevant in the condition, in the health, and in the development of the people and the countries of our region. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias, Daniela.
Thank you very much, Daniela. This is a very challenging panorama where I also want to ask, what would we do if we did not have fruits and vegetables? And I ask this because we cannot keep on taking for granted all of the benefits of fruits and vegetables and that transformative power to transform us all, to be able to make this difference and to obtain all of those benefits that are essential for in fruits and vegetables. So thank you very much for sharing the challenges and the multiple opportunities that fruits and vegetables produce. So in that optimistic aspect, I would like to share a video with you. This is a video that reminds us how fruits and vegetables are filled with everything that is good for the health, and it allows us to create and enjoy nice moments with the family. So go ahead with the video, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. Fruits and vegetables, essential foods in your diet.
En mi familia nos encanta cocinar con frutas y verduras.
In my family, we love to cook with fruits and vegetables. For example, my dad
con mis hijos, Pedro y Ana. Recetas tradicionales.
loves to cook with my children, Pedro and Ana, traditional foods that are filled with fruits and vegetables. We cook, and that way we share, we exchange, we discover the pleasure of combining a variety of foods and vegetables. The time to eat is the time to be together and to try new recipes with fruits and vegetables. Being together at the table makes us feel good. We all feel that we want for our children to be good and to be healthy. And in this sense, of course, fruits and vegetables that we include every day in our dishes are the natural way for us to boost the defenses of all our family. When we include fruits and vegetables in our diet, apart from making it more healthy and delicious, we connect to the nature and to all of those agricultures that are big heroes locally. Finally, let's enjoy free time and let's exercise. And why not? Let's start with our own orchard. We should learn where fruits and vegetables come from, and we should be able to have fruits and vegetables from our garden. Have you had your fruits and vegetables today? Remember, enjoy all of their benefits and feel good.
Sin duda, con las frutas y verduras todos ganamos y nos sentimos
With
bien.
fruits and vegetables, we all feel better. And something that is making me feel very well and very happy is that we have 100 people connected through YouTube and Twitter of FAO Mesoamerica. And that shows that we are 100 people that are committed to all of these topics. So we invited you to share what foods do you enjoy? Do you cook with your families? And some people said that salads, and they put all of the colors. There was a recipe that was very interesting from Chile. So thank you. Thank you very much for sharing these experiences with us. Now we will go to this next block, which is the exchange of experiences of best practices when we talk about the consumption of fruits and vegetables in Latin America and in the Caribbean. And we're going to travel throughout the continent. Grab your passports because we're going to be traveling. We're going to go to Brazil, Chile, Panama, Nicaragua, but we have about 10 minutes to go to each one of the countries. So let's start. We are going to go to our first stop in Paraguay. In Paraguay, we are going to be hosted by Laura Miralles. She works in the University Nacional de Paraguay, and she's going to share her experience with a study called Camino Towards Revalorization of Fruits from the El Chaco region. She's going to complement her presentation with a video of the experience. So go ahead, Laura. Thank you very much for being with us today. Hello everyone. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present here today. And thank you for all of you who are attending this event that is really important for all of the Latin American region and the Caribbean region. From Paraguay, the intention is to share with you very humbly an experience towards the revalorization of fruits and vegetables that are native, that are regional. And this is a work that we have been doing for about 8 to 10 years in association, in a consortium between the National University of a consortium. This is an NGO that is COPI Paraguay. And well, we prepared a video, a short video, an 8-minute video to share with you. I hope you enjoy it, and I am going to be here with you for any other question that you may have. Thank you very much. We plant in here. We don't cut everything. El monte is a very valuable resource. We need to manage this very well, implementing proposals for use, for management, and for conservation of the species that are more used by the community. The sector of fruits and vegetables contributes to increasing the biodiversity. It generates sustainability, environmentally speaking, and it improves the ways of living of agricultures and collaborators that operate throughout the value chains. And we need actions for its registry, conservation, and revalorization. So the big question has been how? How do we achieve this? The path is a multidisciplinary work with the promotion and with the awareness, with the creation and the dissemination of knowledge, the formulation of policies, and the foster of the capacity and education on the consumption and the importance of fruits and vegetables in the food systems. From the year 2013, the visit of Dr. Giuseppe Pulin from COPI Paraguay and the interest of the botanical system in native plants allowed for the identification of food resources and medicine resources that came from El Chaco Central in Chacorapere project. So we are going to collect different aspects. What we wanted to do was to rescue natural resources with food objectives that are part of the territory and that have been present in the knowledge and in the memory of the people that inhabit this. It is not just a return to the past, it is about promoting the elaboration and the transformation of the most important traditional foods, putting them in a more modern context. A total of 112 species were identified. This project is born as a project to deal with our situation and the changes that climate change poses. The work that was done in this project was related to the reforestation in the community. This project was based on the active participation of members of the communities El Activo and the district Ira La Fernandez that conveyed their food systems and also their applications of fruits and vegetables of El Monte. The inventory shows all of the wellness of foods that exist in the forests. As one of the main results that were observed in this study, we highlight that most of the fruits that families consume have a procedence from El Monte. They come from El Monte. The most consumed fruits are tuna, listol, and chañal. All of these are very well appreciated by children. These wild fruits contribute with micronutrients, like minerals and vitamins, to the diet of these communities.
Comer del Monte representa la base científica.
Comer del Monte is the scientific basis to explore, based on the knowledge of ancestral communities, about the food resources that could represent the base and the guideline of a food that is source of new ingredients and valoration of a natural species for conservation, and show us the path towards sustainability of the food system and the population in general. Once in the lab and after a very careful sampling, the foods are analyzed physical-chemically speaking, composition and transformation that were transformed during the drying and storing process. The fruits and vegetables of the region have shown us a great biodiversity and a variety of colors that show us the variety of components that are beneficial for the health. As for example, the orange and the red and the green of the Bayagua naranja, the Uruguay, or the Anaí. In the purple of the tunas, the molle negro, or the mistol. The fruits of Anisocaparis spaciosa, also called gula verde, salsa naranja, palo verde, or paguaya naranja, have shown to be an excellent source for carbohydrates, alimentary fiber, minerals, and vitamin C, apart from the phenols and flavonoid input, and also they are antioxidants. On the other hand, apart from the nutritional aspect, there are species such as the Capsicucha ponense that has shown interesting aspects as antiparasites and antioxidants. So they validate the traditional use and open new perspectives to these ancestral foods. Promoting the added value can be a way for the native fruits that are the most important ones. And this will allow to put them in a context that is more modern and also improve their use, reduce waste, and stimulate consumption based on health. The proposal is, based on the ancestral knowledge, we should relevate this information in a systematic way, generate a value chain, and put them in the hands of the society. So this is the research work that is the motor, the engine of development for the new revalorization of fruits and vegetables, with an impact on health, sustainability, environmentally speaking, and also the empowerment of women and young people that are trained. The results show that the fruits and the vegetables of biodiversity from El Chaco Central possess a huge potential in active components that are very important for the food, for agriculture, for medicine, and also for nutraceutics. There are post-harvesting methods of processing and promotion for consumption, are ways to develop new markets in the framework of food security and sustainability environmentally.
Muchísimas gracias, Laura, por
Thank you
compartir.
very much, Laura, for sharing with us your behavior, and we were really happy to go to Paraguay. There are some key elements to share with you, with the experience, what is to explore and discover more than 100 species that have been identified through the incredible project, how you go with the research, investigation, and of use and transformation, where every actor of these chain of value have had a great benefit and a great contribution for the indigenous community. And now I would like to go to our next stop. It is a little cold, so take your coats because we're going to Chile. And Chile, we're with our friend Luz Trujillo. She is from Brotes Foundation, and they would say harvest in your neighborhood, to revalue the food in your neighborhoods and as to avoid loss of and waste of food.
Hola Yanuri, hola a todos.
Hi Januri, hi everybody, friends, colleagues. Thank you so much for the invitation. I love to participate with this human group, and we will present this Harvest Your Neighborhood. There's a small video and then a presentation. We start with a video, isn't it? Januri, yes, yes. Let's harvest on your neighborhood. This is a model of outstanding foods, and this is a pioneer project at national level. And I would say that we have three great objectives. The first one is related with to improve how this fair and the neighborhood, because we have a great amount of complaints about the neighbors because of the problems this fair is bringing, because of a great amount of waste and the visual, from the visual point of view of the environment. So there's a diagnosis of the problem, or have to live with this problem. And so it has to be in how to empower in your spaces. When the fair is there, yes, there is a use of the space as a fair, and the rest of the time is something empty and abandoned. And so this is used for illegal activities. Now here we have a map of violence and illicits. And here we have all the illicit activities in the first slide. Here is the fair.
Mi nombre es Pedro Cabrera.
Pedro Cabrera is my name. I'm the chair of this Emilio Telles Fair, or DUSA. I have to represent all the members of all those who work here in the fair Emilia Telle. This has been a great problem for us. The doubts that we have of what can we do with everything that is left here, all waste. Not only with organic residues, there are many things that can be recycled, like plastic. The thing is to have a clean environment and to have a to work together with the neighbors, because they can use some of the cardboards or plastics, whatever we leave there. But I think that the fair, we have to do something for the community, because there are so many things that we have to do. Action plans. We have to learn which is the impact of all and learn from the experience. is within the action class, they have the second place to carry out a survey to learn which is the opinion of the rest of the people. Place, they have to develop a model and select a pilot project. The characteristics for sustainability to recover and a free distribution of healthy food with high amount of nutrition. Sorry, I cannot read what it says completely. How can we do it? Communitary methodology to be connected with the residents, with the people from the neighborhood, with elder people, etc. How do we do it? To be involved with the community and a program with volunteers too. And to be part of the neighborhood council, the evolution of the project.
Yenori, les coloco la presentación. ¿Sí?
Now I will put your presentation.
¿Se ve la presentación? Perdón.
Can you see the presentation?
En este momento todavía no, Luz. Si gustas, pones compartir.
If you would share, we are ready to see your presentation and we let you know. Now, if you put it in the presentation mode, I have an internet that's not working very well, it's slow, so now.
Todavía se ven las diapositivas.
We can still see the slides at the side.
Sí.
A presentación.
¿Ahora sí? Tampoco.
No. Si te vas abajo y al link de presentación,
sí.
Ahí, ajá. Eso.
¿Ahora sí?
Okay.
Perfecto.
Perfect.
Voy a tratar de ir lo más rápido.
I will try to go as fast as possible. The video was just a sample of an example of what we have been doing, what it is to harvest your neighborhood. We started in 2015 with the fairs that are the markets where they sell fruits and vegetables in our country. They're called fairs, and where we have a great amount of underutilization of fruits and vegetables. There is a great loss on food. So we started working with the community with these markets, and now this is a very important figure, what we have been able to reach 48 tons per month just in one market, in one of these fairs that is working twice a week. And what we have been doing is that part of the foods that have been useful for during the pandemic is going to a distribution, a food center that they distribute this food to different families. They give it to 1,600 families per month, a basket with different foods coming from the same market, and otherwise they would be in the garbage. And these baskets are delivered by Vital Circle. We look at families that have problems, if they're elder people or small children. So it's not just to give a basket with food, but we look for the families that will need these. It will be supervised, this basket, by our professionals. So we will give them recipes, and we have to be sure that they have the necessary requirements of food and vegetables for a special type of family. everything that we cannot give as a food, we're working with as sub-products. For example, one part is going for compost in a community orchard that is prepared by the neighbors. And then this has been good for the families, for all those neighbors that were complaining because of the problem. And now we are working this with fermented food and etc. We have recovered public spaces, how to learn how to live among them. We will start giving work to the families because everything is systemic and circular economy, where all neighborhood councils, schools, and everybody are part of this food recovery, and we are including and adding value. We started saying that we systematized all the experience in the country, and out of the country, we have made some surveys and to see what is missing, what do we have to generate, because we have experience in this food bank, but we don't want to only be a food bank, but we want to go to avoid food carbon footprint. So everything is kept in the same community. We have 5,500 persons. We have made constant surveys to find out if they're interested in the project. This is what they are interested in: recycling, gardening, orchard, etc. This is a space so you can have an idea in a general point of view, general view of the project. They will have a compost area. Now we are building. Yesterday, we made some first experiences with the authorities of the area. Main areas is for education, social education space first, and we're working with the schools that are in the surroundings, nursery schools, and with the members of the markets, and we bring the children to these orchards so they know this has been recovered. You have 1 minute. So after that, we increased the consumption of fruit and vegetables. And this is the last image of everything that we have been doing, because we're developing, as I said before, some educational material and in this process of innovation. Thank you, and I am ready if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Luz. I'm sure that you have lots of experiences to share, beginning from the question that it appeared in the video. What do you do with all the food in this type of agricultural market? And through your foundation, how you have created a strategy so as to give answer to the great question. Share this with other countries. I invite you to share this with other countries, because I know that there is a problem with many other countries, and this is a question made by many citizens and countries too. Thank you, Luz. Now we are going from the cold time. Now we're going to a warm climate where we have Mariela Ortega from Dominican Republic. And you know that this is International Year of Fruits and Vegetables. One of the specific is to give and to tell everybody to spread the news about the importance it is. And Dominican Republic have made an exceptional work in social network, and Mariela will let us know about these works. Thank you, Genori, and the whole regional staff, my colleagues from different countries and Latin America and the Caribbean. For me, it is an honor to present. Now I will put my presentation. It is an honor for me to present something that we did among many of those who are now in Dominican Republic. Just a second. I'm looking for my presentation. Maybe you can help me. Well, I was saying that this was a work made by a group of people of FAO and governmental institutions, agencies, and others that we will be presenting later on. Can you see my presentation? Yes, we can see your complete presentation. So the experience of the campaign in social networks about these International Years of Food and Vegetables that is being carried out with FAO in Latin America and the Alois. This campaign started in July 2021 with the collaboration of Mesoamerica's project. Here we have the different institutions which have been our allies to this great campaign in a social network, from the Technical Secretariat for Sovereignty, CEPESAM, which is from the Ministry of the Presidency, the Ministry of Public Health, the Institute of, from the Instance of Education, INCAP, the Nutrition Institute of Central America and Panama, and the Program Mundial de Alimento, OPS, and the Dominican Society for Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism. We have also have representatives for private and public sector communicators, physicians. Here we have a chef that have been working with us in social networks and also in workshops. Here we can see that since July 2021, we begin with the publications. Aside from social networks that have been posted by different institutions that I said before, and we have also received the participation of other ministries and other institutions. We also see publications in newspapers that are seen by at an international level, like Listín Diario and CNN, and which are where FAO points out that we should incorporate a nutritionally adequate diet for a healthy life and to have the right food, avoiding the consumption of ultra-processed and high in sugar food, sodium, and other things that are damaging your health. Here we can see the publications of FAO and part of the messages that you can see in our campaign. So we will put the first video so you can see which are the messages of the 15 pieces of the messages of this campaign. If you can help me. And spinach, good in vitamins. Energy for champions. For your brain. Aguacate for your brain. So you can hydrate with it. It depends upon the first line. Fruits and vegetables are the super food. The crown, the more famous one in the tropic, pineapple. Fruits and vegetables against COVID-19. They will help you to avoid obesity, diabetes, and hypertension. Food is the best nutrient you can have. Consumption of fruits will help you. Just buy whatever you need. Plan your purchases in advance. Consume fruits from the station. Then you will support all producers. If it's natural, it tastes better. You cook your foods, natural food. Join us in this challenge. Measure your portions and eat 5 portions of fruits and vegetables per day. Half a cup per vegetable.
La verdad que estos mensajes
Okay, the truth is that these messages have been getting to everyone nationally, but there are zones that are not from social media. They're not so much about being in this new way of living, but for them,
un grupo de
we
actividades
have planned a group of activities so that we can promote healthy foods with this campaign.
principalmente en la región del
So
Valle.
in the southern west region, in the valley, and El Riquillo, San Juana, Sorua, we have had different workshops. These workshops with networks, with the coordinators. By law, they need to be shaped up, and the FAO is providing a company for them. So we have had, with my equipment from my team, from the public health system, the BMA, and other allies, we have been having this kind of workshops to be able to raise awareness in the population about the importance of consumption of fruits and vegetables for the strengthening of the immunological system, and also for the population to know about different practices, culinary practices, and recipes. The second moment of that workshop is that a chef is going to present 2 dishes of salads with fruits and or vegetables, so that the people can understand the importance and the way in which they can prepare them. So they try them out, and then this is coordinated with representatives from the municipality, so mayors and others, to be able to take this information to the community. We can see the different workshops here. We see like 40, 50 people, always taking care of the distance and the mask. We see another workshop in Pedernales. And I would like to see the second video so that we can finish, where we can see that through the workshops, we have been able to disseminate the work that we have been doing through the social media, but also through TV. So second video, please.
Propósito mayor de esta actividad es
the purpose of this activity is to teach our neighbors to consume fruits and vegetables that are so nutritional for us, as we don't even imagine. The biggest part of the food that comes from fruits and vegetables is very important. It is very important for all of the people to consume fruits and vegetables, because our health depends on this. The health of our family is going to depend on a healthy food. So we're committed to taking the knowledge, but also not just the recipes, but the importance of fruits and vegetables for good health.
Ok, entonces, ¿me escuchan?
Okay.
Sí, te escuchamos.
Muy bien. Entonces, ese video demuestra
So that video shows that the people from the southern zone like, and they understand that it is important to give information, that it is not just social media, but that they can presentially help to identify the importance of these foods for health, and to motivate for this message to get to all of the communities of that zone. So thank you very much. And the truth is that we're going to keep on moving forward with, we have been working with this communication campaign for months without stopping. So thank you very much.
¿Cómo se hizo esa concientización hacia
Thank you, Mariela, for showing us how you raised awareness about fruits and vegetables using different marketing techniques. It's true that everything has to look pretty for us to want to buy in. So It is very good that you brought the chefs and you created this sharing experience. We have more than 100 people connected, and we are very happy because of that. So we have been here for about an hour in this webinar, but we still have more. We are going to go to Brazil, to Nicaragua, to Brazil, to Panama, and we're going to have a Q&A session as well. But I saw in the video, Mariela, that those fruits and vegetables moved. So physical activity is very important. You'll have to be part of this. So we are going to imagine that we are going to grab an apple from the tier. So we are going to move and we're going to stretch. And now we're going to grab some carrots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're going to make a salad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's give it up for all of us. And now we will go to Nicaragua. We are going to hear our friend Luisa Lopez. She works with us at the FAO, and she has made a very interesting work to see the nutritional value in the different schools. This is an essential platform for kids to fall in love of fruits and vegetables and to enjoy them in each one of their meals. So Luisa, go ahead with your presentation, please. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. We are very happy to receive you here today in Nicaragua. I am very happy to be hearing about all of your experiences. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us in the region, for sharing all of these initiatives that are so interesting. So I'm going to share my screen to tell you about this exercise that we carried out. Please let me know if you can see it. Yes, we can see it very well. Okay, so as Jemri was saying, this analysis of capacities was done in 3 countries, in Paraguay, El Salvador, and the Dominican Republic. This is a tool that was developed by the FAO. This is to assess capacities in the different countries and locally. It is a tool that it's very useful and that had not been applied in our region. So we adapted it. We adapted the tool. And not only for this challenge that the COVID has posed for all of us, but also from the methodological point of view and from the virtuality point of view. This was a tool that was going to be applied presentially, and we needed to apply them. So we had different strategic players. Here I want to greet Mariela. We were working hand in hand in the Dominican Republic. That work was very nice. And in El Salvador, in Ecuador, we called different actors from ministries and organizations and parents of families, teachers, students, that we sat down and we talked to everyone. That's very important. And we applied this instrument in these three parts. So this process, more than 50 actors participated. So ministries, teachers, etc. We carried out different workshops, and we worked together in a roadmap. This was built by them. We identified challenges and gaps and things that were already being done in the countries, and that it was important to get to know. We had 3 webinars as well of evolution of this information in each one of the countries, and we hope to give the publications of these studies very soon. So what is this tool? Basically, it's important because of something that is related to the consumption of fruits and vegetables. It's important to know where we start from, where are we at? And this is what this tool wants. If we want to promote the consumption of fruits and vegetables, this is just a huge ally. We have seen in the processes that have come before me in this nice experiences where they use nutritional education. So it's very important to know how we are in our country and where we start from, because the success of these interventions depend on the installed capacity or that we have in our countries and what organizations we have, but also from the capacities that we have, and that there is really an environment that is going to favor all of that. So this tool mainly looks for having goal groups, as we mentioned before, all of these national groups, to analyze these capacities. We're going to see this later on. So we are going to have a general overview of how we are working with the strengths, with these capacities that are existent in each country. So this is going to give us the basis to program different strategies and different programs in food programs that are really efficient and sustainable. So that roadmap that is given to the countries that they build basically is going to be good for us to say, okay, in food education, in the school system, we are here. We have this, we do this correctly, we can improve this and build the spaces amongst all of us. So this tool, as I mentioned before, analyzes different topics. So first of all, we have the favorable environment where we are going to analyze the different relevant systems for the school environment. These are policies that already exist, and also the financial aspect for the nutritional requirements and the political commitment that we have in the country. At the organizational level, we're going to organize the roles, the priorities. We're going to know the priorities of the country based on the requirements at the school level, and everything related to nutrition and educational nutrition, and how this is immersed in the school system of each one of the countries. At an individual level, we are going to analyze this from the more operational level. So how is education, like food education, going to get to children? How our teachers are going to work with that, and how are the parents included, if they are included or not, if they are included in the food school systems or not, and what learning possibilities do we have in the schools, and of course for these teachers and for all of the ones involved. When we apply this tool in the countries, apart from the singularity of each one, of course there are differences, but we are going to find big similarities in the countries when we see this. I am going to tell them, we see that there are political frameworks and legal frameworks that are very weak to be able to address the elementary and nutritional environment. There's little financing. Actually, this is the financing aspect is one of the most sensitive ones. We do not know much about the resources that are needed for this specifically. There is a link, institutionally speaking, that is very weak. So I wanted to tell you that in this exercises, we saw things that were very different. People sitting down and talking about different aspects, where a teacher could think what the representative of ministry thought, and the representative of the minister could know what was going on in a school. So lack of participation of the family and the environment. We still have this debt. We need to include the parents a little bit more, the families a little bit more, and the communities in the educational processes. The time allocated for educational for nutritional education is not that much, or it's not easy to estimate. The initiatives do not respond to the main problems, so they are very generic contents that are not actually responding to the needs of the country. We have training programs that are many times not that solid, and they do not give us information about how our school children are. So material that is of quality. In here, the FAO from Brazil has made a very interesting proposal to include everything related to nutrition and education and nutrition. We have seen progress that is very interesting in approaches that are not efficient in weak approaches, but we have been moving forward. So we have mechanisms of evaluation that sometimes are the biggest absent ones. So many times we have inadequate formation. They said we have a lot of willingness, but many times we just do not have the necessary tools to have an efficient nutritional education. So lack of opportunity for the strategic players, and of course, the limited research. This is related to the proposal that we were hearing from Paraguay, from research, because we think that the academia is a very important player that has worked on these programs in a very specific way. So what happens is that, yes, we do things, but many times they're not published. So we want to talk about the nice experiences, but we do not know what is going on in our countries, mainly in the low-income ones. I know that we have just enough time. So the idea is that with this idea, we are going to start this new exercise in Guatemala. So if you're seeing us from Guatemala, we are going to start with this process already. As I said before, we had 3 roadmaps for each one of the countries. So we used to do the facilitation from here, but the players are the ones that have built this in a participative way. So this has been an exercise that has been valued as important for considering the status of the food quality. It's very important to know where we're at, where is our starting point, what is our starting point, and what are the strengths of our country. And it's been an exercise that has been really interesting. We have had different players related to this topic, where we have been able to establish alliances. We have had work together in the school system. So it is an exercise that benefits us a lot, and we can keep on strengthening the school food system. It is the school. It is a very important place to promote lifestyles, consumption of fruits and vegetables, where the nutrition is really important. So that is the place. And of course, we need for that to be very efficient. So that is why this tool is very useful. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I don't want to go over my time. So thank you very much. So let's keep on hearing the new proposals. Thank you very much. Thank you, Luisa. Thank you very much. And I want to finish with what you showed us, with what you shared in terms of how to be strategic, to be able to address this topic, where we have these policies, these investments, so that we have this in a sustainable way and everyone is benefited. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are going to go to Brazil. We have Nashla Veloso.
Compartirnos el día de hoy cómo se incorporan las frutas y verduras en los programas de alimentación escolar.
So she's going to talk about the system, the school system, the food school system in Brazil. This is coordinated to sustainable schools, where we have seen a great impact in our region. So thank you very much, Nashla, and thank you for being with us from Brazil.
I come from Brazil. Prepare your bottle of water because it's really warm here in Brazil. So, Janori, I put the title in this presentation a little ambitious. I said that it is impossible to have a school food healthy without fruits and vegetables. So, as to explain a little bit what we think about this, I found the concept of healthy food that is developed here in Brazil through the National Food Guide. And I will share with you a slide.
Si quieres lo pones en modo presentación y ya estamos
listos. I can put it as presentation, yes. Yes. So we wanted to see certain what is healthy food. And the guy told us that there is a sense, like a common sense, to say what is healthy food, which is small in quantity, and it is poor in some nutrients or products, some vitamin, etc. And then we understand that that is a food that is covering all the needs in relation to nutrients, equilibrium, variety, quantity, safety, and flavor and beauty. And of course, have all it's related with sustainability, with distribution chain of food and regional foods and economical matters, so as to have a school sustainable food and group program and an efficient program. We must have fresh and local food, of course, fruits and vegetables. It's not possible to have to vary food just with those elements that are industrialized and processed food. We must have fruits and vegetables and fresh. And this is a condition that we know that is a big challenge. This is a big challenge for us today. Data that we have now in 2020 for a global parents, we see that 4 out of 5 countries, they have a 20% do not have a school policies in the world. And 1 out of 2 of the students that are subscribed in school are at 50% of them, 50% of these students have in food. And as we know as FAO, we know that there are 10 million of students, and the food that they receive at school is the only thing that they eat during the day. And we are still struggling to fight that the school food is a right, to have the right food. So we understand that school food is linked with all the 5 things directly. That we have to eradicate poverty, the sustainable agriculture, zero welfare, and the educations, and equal in gender, because we think that in the school, a great amount of poverty is a problem that they should know. They have a personal interrelationship, like to build alternatives. And what we are trying to do is to have face and face in Brazil through the actions that we wrote here. One of them is precisely in not to give the right amount of calories and nutrients, and to eliminate the bad indicators of nutrition. And this is what we're having a most efficient and inclusive agro-food, because we think that we're trying with which is in this generation, what they're learning, they will have a great impact in future generation. When we're thinking in the nutrition, we should know that we understand, because through these policies that we are improving the quality of soil, and these fruits and vegetables, we are improving diet, and in a 20% of the country, we are supplying nutrients with fruits and vegetables, and we have to work with laws and programs, because we think that it is very powerful, and we have to work, and to be able to have access to fruits and vegetables is to have access to these agro food. We're planning as a cooperation what to do here now. And aside from helping countries to establish their own programs and to have, and from the economical point of view, we want to increase the coverage and to those who will be receive fruits and vegetables. We want to stimulate and help countries to broaden the to improve the quality of their nutrition food, to stimulate the public purchase, because this is the only way that we can have fresh food in the schools, and because of what we call now the circular recuperation of economy, because we think that, as I mentioned before, and it was mentioned by my colleagues, all fruits and vegetables, we diminish the risk of obesity, of diseases, if we can develop family orchards, and that will help them. And then I went to the hospital with my husband, and there they gave fruits and vegetables for every patient. Why couldn't we do that in schools? Because there is a policy that it hurts, it exists, we have the resources, and maybe we can offer that exists, because we know that there is enough production in every country. We should find logistics to strengthen links and to make it public. And as a sustainable food network in Brazil, we was to make a workshop at the end of November to present this, and those countries will get to this network, look this intersectorial participation, so we can develop capacity, exchange experiences, monitor and evaluate. And one of the main is what is food that are healthy, not only at school, but should control an educational, nutritional education linked to this topic. So then we will have action plans proposed with all those countries that are linked with us, and then we want to support them directly so they can have an action plan with results and strategies presented, and we can talk of what happened before and after. And this, I think that it could be a very important indicator and necessary indicators. And to finish with my presentation, I would like to say that this week we had the Assembly of the United Nations Assembly, and I liked what the First Ministers of Barbados, I loved her intervention where she focused on Bob Marley, and she said, get up and stand up, because who will stand up and defend the rights of every people? She was really authentic. I'm not here to say, I told you. I'm here to say that this should be a reality. We should act. This is what we should do. How many crises do we need in this international part, and that we're looking for a better quality? And if we can, something that it was mentioned, if we can find the will of someone in Talalunga, and we can solve, we could solve problems from our people, and that they could eat good things and healthy things. So I think that it's not because we don't have enough. Maybe it is because we don't want to distribute in a strategic way what we have. And in Brazil, we say we have to face this problem face to face. And looking at this problem into their eyes, we have to look for alternatives with all those who are managing things, so they can increase the amount of foods in schools with double benefits. Is because we are with a benefit for those who are with their farmers, and then we will have the students with the fruits and vegetables that we're giving them. So here we are. I think that we know we know by heart what is the lesson. So we have to do things. So I invite you to stimulate all histories, and we should work together so we can make this a reality of being able to eat at schools. So I will just show this last image and to tell you that is what this is what we're talking about. This is why, this is for what we should be working for. This should be a reality, not 1, 2, 3, but 6,000 schools, every school in the region. And let's hope that in every country. So thank you very much. Thank you, Daniela, Noria, Ulises, to all of those who gave us the opportunity of bringing our presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nashla. And as you saw here, I'm looking at your eyes because your eyes will show that it's not that we only have to talk, but we have to act. And I'm a witness that you have been able to unite many actors so as to have the right of a healthy food for our children. So thank you very much for inspiring us and sharing your experiences where we have to act, and get all together for our efforts. So now we're going to our last trip. So you have your passports and we're going to Panama. Panama is a beautiful country. I hope I will go to Boquete because there's fields and we have lots of fruits and vegetables that are beautiful. And Betty Cruzado will receive us from the Movements of Healthy Food, and she will share her experience in how we can integrate more fruits and vegetables. Thank you, Betty, and thank you for receiving us in Panama. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Greetings for Mr. Dominican and his all the great working group, Jorge, and everybody that has participated in this webinar and for consumer. And we have enjoyed every country. And I wouldn't want to make a virtual trip. I think that I hope this pandemic will finish and to visit every nice country that has shown their experience. This healthy food movement is created by the civilians and promotes the consumption and the consumption of healthy food and diversified to fresh and in an accessible way directly from our producers to consumers, with the main objective of diminishing chronic disease, non-transmissible chronic disease. As we don't have much time, I hope you can put a video because we have a great amounts of young people which are the influencers of health, and they are promoting our new generation in your language in a way, and then we can improve consumption of fruits and vegetables because they are the ones that are affected with all type of publicities and with all type of trash foods or foods that are not healthy. And then we have to see young people or children with diabetes and obesity. And in the worst of the cases, they can end up with cancer. The video, please. Thank you.
La Organización de las Naciones Unidas designó el 2021 como año oficial de la fruta y hortaliza. Con esto se presenta la oportunidad de crear conciencia sobre la importancia que tiene este grupo de alimentos para la nutrición humana, la seguridad alimentaria, la salud y en el logro de los objetivos de desarrollo sostenible.
El movimiento de alimentación saludable promueve un mejor consumo para los productores de frutas y hortalizas hacia los consumidores de Panamá. ¿Y de qué manera?
Contamos con un puesto de alimentos inocuos en el mercado San Felipe Neri, en donde ofrecemos una gran diversidad de frutas y vegetales para todos nuestros consumidores.
También estamos desarrollando huertos comunitarios, familiares, escolares, en donde se hace énfasis
family halls and school halls where we emphasize the consumption of fruits and vegetables.
Hoy te damos un consejo. Haz un cambio para mejorar tu salud
We
e
are
incluye
giving an
diariamente
advice.
5
Make a
porciones entre
change,
frutas y
improve
vegetales
your health,
para promover una
and
buena
eat
alimentación,
5
ya
portions
que
of
estos
fruits
alimentos
and
contienen
vegetables for
vitaminas,
healthy
minerales y
adults, because
fibras
these
que van
foods
a
have
ayudar a fortalecer tu sistema
vitamins,
inmunológico, a
minerals, and
mantener un
fibers
correcto
that will
desarrollo del
help your
sistema digestivo
immunological
y
system
con
and
esto vas a
have a
ayudar
digestive
a disminuir
system
las
in a
enfermedades
healthy way.
crónicas
And
no
then you can
transmisibles.
help in decreasing non-transmissible chronic disease.
Y recuerda que mejorar tu salud es un
And
compromiso
remember
de
that to
todos.
improve your health is a commitment of all of us.
Bueno, ahí como ven los
Okay, as you can see, our young people were saying that we have to improve our health and food, and this is a commitment.
Se escucha un poquito la bulla porque lo hicimos en nuestro puesto que tenemos en el mercado.
We could hear a noise because we did this on our market in it, so we could hear the noise of all the producers that were closing. This year is dressed of colors, and the Organization of the United Nations for Food and Agriculture, as FAO, so we could consume more fruits and vegetables to leave aside what our children are saying. We don't want that green, we don't want yellow. Take this away from my food. So this is a good opportunity to introduce all of these beautiful colors and invite our children and adults that they could increase the consumption of fruits and vegetables. What is a healthy food? Like as the name of our movement is the one that will satisfy the need of energy and nutrients in all the stages of your life. That means since we are in the womb of our mothers until we are adults. It is really important to include all type of food, mainly fruits and vegetables. This is a complete and diversified food and without any type of damage, enough force damage. In this image where we have Panama with the great amount of products that are produced, a great amount of vegetables and fruits, because we have soil, high soils and low soils, where we can produce different type of products. We invite you all to consume more fruits and vegetables, and we have a stock. The stock is for, we have to put a stop to ultra processed product. If we look at the beautiful colors of all these vegetables, so now is the right moment, the moment even now that we are with COVID-19, that was united with the other disease, the non-transmissible disease, chronic disease that have been on for more than 10 years. So we have to go back to old practices and prepare our food. Emphasizing this image before going to next image, well, I have to mention that we are now doing a scientific study with the support of OPS in the opinion of the consumers in Panama, so as to put a labeling, including the nutrition aspects. And then they could promote fresh products, and consumers might have more information about what we're receiving. The movement of healthy food will promote the consumption and production of fruits and vegetables, because we are trying to see our consumers, giving information to the consumers so they can know how important it is to consume food fresh, but we're also guiding them so there could be more what they call family orchards, home orchards. And here we have some activities that we could achieve as movement to have a place in the market where we use the producer with the consumer. We took our small producers, those who are beginning to work in their family orchards, and they could sell them in a direct way. What happens when you unite this producer with the consumer? Then we can have lower cost, those products that are organic, ecological products. They are not with a very high price. because otherwise they cannot be accessible to the consumer. On the contrary, these are healthy food and accessible to the consumers. Here we present one of our first fairs or market that was in Market San Felipe Meri, where the different producers participated in the from family, some of them agroecological, organic, and will be the beginning of various fairs or markets that we're having at a national level. Because this is a movement that is coming to different areas, not only urbans. We all have right to a healthy food, rural areas or all provinces at a national level. Why do we call them more than a fair? Because we don't only promote to be the way so they can everybody know the products that are produced by our producer, but we also teach in how to make your family orchard, how to the family farms. Maybe they can do compost with what is left with of fruits and vegetables, then organic food. Then we talk about the different disease where you could happen because of problems with food. Then we have had the support with producers, with FAO, INCAP, MINSA, MIDA, which is the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Rural Development, the academia, which is the National University. With them, we have been able to teach and give information to the consumer, because it's not that we always have to take these places or with fruits and vegetables, but we also want to inform our consumer. We have to teach the consumer that has to be empowered, and they have to say stop when they see an ultra processed product. Then we measure their and to measure if they have problems, and there we have preventing cardiovascular disease. We saw how to have better farms, to have fresh products. We were measuring their wastes there so they could realize what they could do. In MINSA and us, as a movement, we participated also in an activity where, let's say, in an area in the bus terminal and in the underground, where we carried out a campaign where we taught and we informed all consumers of how they could have a orchard at home, and we gave them seeds, especially when we begin with the fruits and vegetables. We took the topic and we went with our young people, with MINSA and with other organizations, so as to explain them how they could create a family orchard or to have in family agriculture. We don't need big with big pots, and with all the, instead of using other artificial flavor, we could use parsley, oreganos, and everything that could help us to mitigate the excess in sodium. Then we also gave seeds of fruits and vegetables, and the importance of including these type of foods of different colors that will characterize them. Here you can see that we have a great woman that is the one that helps us in promoting family agriculture. She's an engineer, Giovanni Mendoza, and we have in areas of, we have difficult access, and there we train women so they can start having these family orchards and family farms with a type of circular economy. I can have crops of one thing, of cucumbers, you can have lettuce, and then each of them could have something, and from the economical point of view, this would be of a great favor. I will sell you lemons and you can sell me parsley, etc. So this is in the husbands sometimes do not have any job, and some workshops.
Un minutito más, ¿sí?
1 minute.
Excelente.
We're finishing. Okay. Here we present what is the inauguration of school or farms is and to encourage education and education to consumer for our children. Here is where we visit different producers that we have at the national level to visit our communities and our communities. And here we have our leaders that are inviting us to consume more fruits and vegetables.
Muchísimas gracias, Betsy. Y en las fotos vi a nuestro queridísimo colega Israel. Qué bonito que están uniendo esfuerzos, tantas colaboraciones.
It's very nice to see that you're collaborating so much, seeing the young people and so many people from the community.
Comer más frutas
And to show that, yes, you can eat more fruits and vegetables. We have 15 minutes to be able to give a final message to the audience. And we are going to have Daniela Godoy giving some closing words. So through these videos, you have shown us a lot of creativity, a lot of color. And I wanted to know if you had to share a good message, a creative message, so that the people that are seeing this webinar say, yes, I can make a change individually and at the level of the community to promote more production and more consumption of fruits and vegetables. What would you say that comes from your heart to tell them to their hearts? So let's start with, we're going to start with Betsy.
Bueno, el mensaje que les puedo dar hoy es
Well, the message that I can give you is that I think that the pandemic has given us this view to look inside and to go back to the time of our grandparents. So cook more at home, to include our children in this processes of preparing the foods, to teach them to consume more fruits and vegetables, and of course to go to the supermarkets with them to select fresh foods and to teach them how important it is to consume fruits and vegetables and how good it is for our bodies. That's very nice. So that's union with the family. Good. Well, I am going to say something with questions to give you food for thought. So first of all, I wanted to say that I would leave the first big question is how we want to achieve the SDGs, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, without conditions of dignified learning in schools. And I think that this is related to the development, the cultural development of our people, of our students, for this and for other generations. And then how are we going to deal with the hunger if we allow this in the schools? And I think that hunger is not just absence of food, but also of healthy products and adequate products, nutritive products. That's what we're talking about. So how are we going to continue assuming a situation in which many students go to schools with hunger, hypoglycemic, many times sleepy and unmotivated? Besides that, we are also not helping their cognitive development. And the other question is, how are we going to live with the idea that we want gender equality if we do not deal with the human condition of development from the schools, in the schools and from the schools? So my final words are these questions. And I leave you with all of the countries, all of the people that are here, with the idea that we are together and that we want to grow together. I think that we have seen today is very important. So thank you very much to all of you. And thank you very much for your great moderation. Thank you, Nashla. We are going to go to Luisa now. Well, to say goodbye from this trip, I wanted to thank you for this moderation and for and all of the partners that were here with me in these presentations. And well, my messages are two. And really, the promotion of this fruits and vegetables is a task of everyone. So the more efforts we add, the better. And when you feel alone, you just need to think about the fruits and vegetables that are waiting for you. So thank you very much, everyone from Nicaragua. No, thank you very much. And those earrings are great for this occasion. That's fantastic. Mariela.
Muy bien. Bueno, yo me despido con dos.
Well, I want to say goodbye with two messages. First of all, in the group, we have the color. Okay? So the other one is
natural sabe mejor.
That natural tastes better. So those are the two messages of the 15 messages that we have today here in the communicational campaign. It covers everything. We need to eat more fruits and vegetables so that we can have a better health. Thank you very much. You are an expert to this with this short messages that go to your heart. Luz.
Difícil misión. Soy la última, parece.
Oh, that's a hard mission. I'm the last one, apparently. Well, my message is related to recovery. I think that after hearing my colleagues here, we are all very connected to this. This is going back to cook, going back to our previous ways, going back to social empathy and family dialogue, all of these values that are the ones that generate this healthy habits. And well, schools, educating, involving families, involving the communities, the green market workers, so we can recover our spaces, we can recover our dialogues with the communities. If we want to conserve our nature and our planet, each one of us can take a simple action, such as eating 5 portions of fruits and vegetables throughout the day. This is already an option. And I say that this is the message. Oh, and thank you very much, everyone. No, thank you. Educating for transforming everyone and filled with all of this, with all of these questions. So let's go to Laura. Thank you very much. As you said, I feel that we are in this, we are tuned. In spite of the fact that we come from different areas, I think that the multidisciplinary work is the way to have this revalorization and the production towards health, and definitely we are on a good path. The message that I wanted to leave you with is that everybody can know, can recognize how important it is to consider the knowledge of our ancestral communities, and knowing that we need to have a food system based on fruits and vegetables.
Gracias, Laura. Esa reconexión.
Thank you, Laura. So that reconnection with our indigenous communities that by nature are connected. My final comment is related to this, and this is related to Dominican Republic. Fruits and vegetables are the first line of defense. So let's imagine that we're going to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and that we're going to be very strong. And it doesn't matter how many challenges we can have, we are going to be so strong that we're going to be able to overcome all of that, so that everyone can see the action of eating fruits and vegetables as the most healthy option. So thank you very much for sharing these experiences. I know that you have been
Yo me despido como moderadora, fue un
seeing
privilegio,
all of this, but
muchísimo
you
cariño
are
compartir con
showing
ustedes y
that
ahora el
it
cierre
can be
a
done.
mi colega
So thank you very
Daniela.
much.
Adelante,
It
Daniela.
was an honor to be with you, and now I'll give the floor to my colleague Daniela to close this.
Experiencia
Thank you.
y de estos mensajes tan inspiradores que
Hillary,
cierto nos llegan al corazón.
it is very difficult to close this
Que en 2019 las
after
Naciones
knowing
Unidas
these
declaró el año
great experiences and this very inspiring messages. Just to close,
de los beneficios que genera
I
para la
wanted to
salud.
tell you that the United Nations declared
El año
this
internacional
year
de
as
frutas y
the
verduras se
year
enmarca en el
of fruits and
contexto del
vegetables.
diseño
So
de las Naciones
this
Unidas de Acción
wants
sobre
to
la
raise
nutrición
awareness
y en el diseño de la
of the
agricultura familiar.
benefits
Y nos
that
desafía en los cuatro pilares
this
del marco
generates the
estratégico que
consumption of
tiene
fruits and
la FAO,
vegetables.
de una mejor producción,
This
mejor
year it's
nutrición,
framed
mejor
in
ambiente y una mejor vida.
on the design of
Todos
a
estos
friendly
pilares
agriculture.
requieren de la acción para la producción sustentable y el consumo de las frutas y las verduras. En
And the
paralelo,
consumption of fruits and vegetables. So parallel to this, and to promote the consumption and the trade, the commercialization of fruits and vegetables in Central America and in other countries, we visibilize the importance of the sector. And on May 3rd, we are going to celebrate the Day of the Fruit. We are going to have the most variety of fruit at that time. So the purpose of this is to raise awareness about the contribution of fruits and vegetables to the sustainable development in their three dimensions. So social dimension, economic dimension, and environmental dimension. And through this input, we, this is related to the to also the benefit that we give to family agriculture. We have heard about important things. In Paraguay, COPI has shown us how through ancestral products of ancestral fruits and indigenous practices, we can revalue biodiversity with knowledge, with policies. They were able to identify food systems and the elaboration and transformation of all of these traditional foods. In Chile, Cosecha Tu Barrio from Brotes Foundation, we're able to reduce the many tons of waste and improving the food security of many families that empowers the spaces of food and vegetables and also empowers social networks. In the Dominican Republic, the alliance amongst the different sectors and players generated an educational aspect that was related to education of food and vegetables to include them. And also, we want to coordinate this with the communities. In the Dominican Republic and in Guatemala, through a tool to assess the food security at the school system, they achieved the participation of more than 50 players. And we also developed workshops that were that allowed us to develop roadmaps. In Brazil, they give us a very important message. Without fruits and vegetables, we do not have a good system. The fruits and the vegetables give us important information. Every 6 countries have a policy for food. This is going to allow us to be adapted. In Panama, they promote the production and also the consumption of fruits and vegetables. All of these, and the most important thing with the young people as the big engine of achieving a good system, along with best practices and good things that have been done in the region, we're going to be able to achieve a better production, a better nutrition, and also a better life. So thank you very much for being with us here today.
Excelente síntesis, Daniela.
Synthesis, Daniela. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the organizers, the panelists, all of the participants. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon and go eat.